you're anything like me, you like to watch strangers eat enormous amounts of food from time to time. It is a interesting habit. And I tend to do it especially when I'm cutting down, like when I'm 2 weeks out from a bodybuilding competition. You might find me scrolling my phone watching people eat, like Eric Electric, or this girl named Katina Eats Kilos, who's a tiny little girl who eats a ton of food, or Beard Meats Food, which is the video we're going to respond to today. Now, I have always been curious, how can these individuals eat 20,000 calories in one sitting, yet they all seem to be so fit? And after doing a little bit of research, I realized that they know something 99% of people don't. And it's not genetics or a fast metabolism that allows them to eat all this food and not get fat. It's something that they understand about the human body that most people just overlook entirely. If you're new here, my name is Jacob Beneventi. I'm the owner of Limitless Transformation Coaching. We are a fitness coaching business that works specifically with executives, business owners, and high-level leaders to help them transform their physique so that they look better, feel better, and lead better. And in this video, we're going to respond and react to Beard Meats Food's video about how he does not get fat despite doing all these food challenges. And when we're done watching that, I'm going to break down the principles that they utilize that can help you achieve any physique you want to achieve. Let's dive in.
Honestly, if I had a quid for every time somebody asked me this question, I could afford to dress like an adult. Okay, first off, disclaimer, there is no eating in this video. I'm sorry, if it's not your bag or you've been around long enough that you've heard all this before, no worries. Thursday is but a couple of days away, so hopefully you'll join me then for the next normal video. Alright, so I've covered this a great many times before, but I've noticed quite the influx of comments and messages asking the same question again lately. So if you've not heard me explain this in the past, I'm going to try and keep this as simple and concise as possible. I promise. Now, of course, there are variables at play when we talk about energy turnover in the human body, and maybe I could get into that at a later date, or maybe not because, you know, it's boring. But for today, I'm going to try and keep it broad and simple. So how is it that I can eat these huge meals without getting fat? Fast metabolism, running daily ultra marathons, drugs, medical condition, alien DNA? Nah, mate, it's just mathematics with a little bit of thermodynamics thrown in there, you know, sciencey stuff. And honestly, it's kind of concerning to me that most adults don't know how energy turnover.
Very concerning, which is why I'm making this video. So buckle up. He also said energy turnover. You might have heard the term energy balance. It's thermodynamics, the first law. You've probably heard calories in, calories out. That is the basic idea.
In the human body actually works. So let me show you a crudely made graph. The crudest of crudely made graphs. I might as well have done this in crayon. So on this graph, the y-axis shows calorie intake and the x-axis shows time. So on the left, you will see a number of calories, and along the bottom of the graph, you will see days of the week. Now, I've shared this tons of times on social media, in posts, private messages. It's really nothing new. Now, the blue line shows what my calorie intake would look like if I didn't, you know, eat like a So you'll see 3,000 calories evenly distributed over 7 days of the week. This totals 21,000 calories. Now, that is slightly higher than average, but bear in mind that I'm more active than the average person, one who, say, drives to work in the morning, works a desk job, and then doesn't do any exercise. Now, if I eat like this, it's impossible, I mean scientifically, irrefutably impossible for me to gain weight. There is no surplus of energy consumed through food, which my body can then deposit as fat or indeed muscle. Now, the green line, I don't know why I keep doing this with my finger. The green line shows a more accurate representation of how I currently eat. Let me say at this point, I do not recommend that you eat this way. If nothing else, the huge peaks and troughs in calorie intake will affect your sleep, your mood, and of course your energy levels. But you can learn something from it and apply it to your own life at a less extreme level, especially with Christmas coming up. Of course, everyone loves to eat that time of year, so it might help you out a little bit. Notice that in both examples, the total number of calories taken in over the course of a week is 21,000. That's, for me, caloric maintenance. So there is no logical way that I can gain weight unless, of course, I were to reduce activity level. In simple terms, if I didn't move as much, I wouldn't need to eat as much to, you know.
For context, he clearly already knows his maintenance calories. For him, it's 3,000 per day. But because he does these food challenges, it doesn't look like that, hence the graph. So you need to understand your maintenance calories if you're going to understand why your body is either gaining weight or losing weight. And that's why spending a stretch of time tracking your food so you become nutritionally competent is very helpful for everybody.
Sustain my body weight. Now, of course, as I mentioned at the start of the video, there are variables which affect this model, the thermic effect of food, different macronutrient constituents, and we haven't even touched on nutrition, what to eat, because of course, eating fruits, vegetables, foods rich in fiber and micronutrients, things like that, that's important for health reasons. Not that I want to sound like your mummy, but that's an issue for another day. I'm trying to give you like a broad, simple approach right now. So for the sake of simplicity, that's that. If you didn't know, now you know. I've kind of got it off my chest. I feel a little bit better now. Hopefully some of the newer subscribers understand it. Hopefully it helps some people out. And like I said, you can kind of apply this knowledge at a less extreme level. If you like to eat a bit of junk food on a Saturday and a Sunday, just take it easy on the days before and the days after, Eat less calories and you can enjoy those days when you eat a little bit more and not feel guilty about eating food. Everyone loves to eat food. Anyway, Thursday is only a couple of days away. We'll be back to doing some normal fun stuff. And hopefully I'll catch you then. I'm off to eat a salad.
All right. Incredibly profound because of who is saying it. You got a guy who eats 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 calories in one sitting. Like, here's a clip of this guy eating
so
food.
big.
If you've seen these videos, you know that they are intense. And what is he saying? He's saying that the way he maintains his weight is by controlling his calories. He's not special. In fact, he's like an elite athlete in terms of how he trains his body to be able to put all this food down, and then also how he balances out his off days to ensure he's not in a caloric surplus. The reality, if he ate even close to this on a daily basis, the man would be morbidly obese. And many competitive eaters are very heavy. I'm thinking about like the Man versus Food guy. He's heavy because his whole life is traveling around and eating delicious foods. Now, what it tells you that he's in shape is that he's highly disciplined and conscious on his off days from eating. And he's probably in many ways making himself suffer, because imagine eating only 1,000 calories a day for the next 2, 3, 4 days after a challenge. And then maybe the couple days heading into the challenge as well. These competitive eaters, they are masters at managing their body composition. Just this last week, I had a client who had a big weekend, and he's like, man, I ate a bunch of food. I went 1,000 calories over on Saturday and Sunday. How much is that going to mess me up? Well, 1,000 calories over his maintenance, 2 days, that's 2,000 calories over his maintenance. If he ate at maintenance for the following week and 2, then that 2,000 calorie surplus would eventually turn into about a half pound of fat on his body. But if for the following, let's say 10 days, he went 200 calories under his maintenance, then that calorie average would balance out and he wouldn't have gained any fat. Understanding energy balance allows you to do 2 things. 1, allows you to have peace of mind, knowing that if you have a really high calorie day, you can balance that out. 2, it allows you to stop being dogmatic about food and nutrition. You see, you can eat incredibly healthy, but if you're in a caloric surplus, you will gain body fat. You could also eat garbage like a lot of these competitive eaters eat and be losing body fat, because the principle that guides weight gain or weight loss is energy balance. And it isn't until you accept that and understand that and become a master of it that you will then become a master at manipulating your body composition. I understand many of the people watching this video right now will be like, well, you don't know my genetics. You don't know about my slow metabolism. You don't know about my hormones. Maybe you're one of those incredibly misinformed people who say, if I look at a cookie, I gain 5 pounds, but so-and-so can eat a cookie and they have a 6-pack. That is what the kids are calling cope. That's cope. Because the principle of energy balance will dictate how your body looks over time. Now, like he said, food quality matters. Eating fruits and veggies and getting your fiber in and getting your vitamins and minerals in. This does matter for long-term health and how you feel. But when it comes to how you look, your aesthetic, that is more determined by how many calories you're consuming and how you're training your body. I've been wanting to make this video for a while. I understand it's a simple video. I understand for many of you watching this, it will be just reiterating a universal principle that you already know. But for those of you out there who are struggling, who really want to see your body change, understand this first, and then every other nutritional principle, all the other supplementation that you can consider, then that starts to become more of a factor. Other thing is, if you're lifting and training really hard right now, but you're not seeing your body weight drop and you're not seeing your body composition improve, then it might be worth tracking your food to consider how many calories you're consuming and whether or not that is an adequate amount of calories for you to either gain or lose weight. I am in the business of body transformation for leaders, and so I try to deduce body transformation to the simple principles that will lead to change, and I've been wanting to make a video like this for a while. If you like this type of content, subscribe. If you want to learn more about what I do and the results I get my clients, you can follow me on Instagram at LimitlessJacob. Hopefully now you know a little bit more about how you can not be fat and be at the body composition you want to be at. I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'm going to go watch a few more food videos. We'll see you.